and people and all those things. So, so that's the story. You're about 1,005 now. Quite a reasonable, quite a good signal in fact. So I just came on to see if anything's happening on the band, and there you are. So the name is Brian, Bravo Radio India Alpha November, and as I say, I'm on the south side of Edinburgh, fairly high up on the Braid Hill station. But I'm very low down in a hole in the ground in Peebles, so it's no good for radio down here. That's why I do a remote operation. Back to you, Stuart. GM0ROT, GM8BJF.
Yeah, okay there, Brian. GM8 Bravo Juliet Foxtrot 2M0ROT. Yeah, I've got you a 5 and 5 now. I think I've spoke to you before actually. You were working remote down in Peebles, I'm sure, about 6 months ago or so. I think I was just on, I think I just had my little halo up at the time. I've now swapped that out for a 5-element beam, and I do quite well. I'm pretty much on the side of the Clyde here, facing Ben Lomond, straight out my front window here, facing Ben Lomond. So I'm pretty much on the Clyde, and I've got a good path right through to kind of Musselburgh, kind of Edinburgh way there. Not heard anything from Fife ever, but certainly Edinburgh I seem to do quite well. The odd SOTA from Arthur's Seat as well I get quite well there as well. So I'm sure I've spoke to you before, Brian. I'll need to check my QRZ logbook. There's a few months, well, saying that was maybe more than that. I've been in this shack here, the spare room, since my daughter moved out last August, so it was probably last summer I spoke to you, and I think you were in a caravan. I can't remember where you were, but you were working remote about down there anyway. So yep, no, but you're 5 and 5 with me now. I've got you about as strong as I can get. 55 here. So Brian, there you go. GM8 Bravo Juliet Foxtrot from 2M0ROT. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, Stuart. 2M0ROT, GM8BJF. Yeah, your signal's holding up very well. Good solid 5,007 sort of thing. The meter says S9, but I don't know quite whether to believe it or not. It's courtesy of a lot of software by the time I get it down here. So I'm using an old IT706 Mark 2G, and the antenna is a 7-element Sonos. I can rotate it remotely as well. I've built up the hardware. I'm using a Raspberry Pi to control it all up there. Speak to the Raspberry Pi over the internet. That's how I'm doing it. And if the internet gods are willing, I can work it. It can occasionally take me off and it stops working. So that's the story here. But certainly I can get through to Edinburgh quite well. And I think I know roughly where you are. I'm not terribly good at the geography of Glasgow, but I've got the general gist of it, so I've been there often enough. So I take it you'll be on the west side of Glasgow. I say you've probably got a fairly long, low shoot to the east, which is always good for getting a radio signal out. And I'm actually located, the station's located on the south of the Braid Hill, and from where my aerial is, I can see the mast. I can actually see the building at the bottom of the mast at Black Hill in shot. So I've got quite a good takeoff in that direction. In fact, on very, very clear evenings, something sees much further over. And at times you can see the summit of Ben Lomond. Noticeable landmark, a conical peak. So back to you, Stuart. 2M0ROC, GM8BJF.
2M0ROT returning. Yes, well, sort of Ben Lomond is due north to me, and I think as the crow flies, it's about 11 miles. It's about 11 miles as the crow flies over the Clyde, over the kind of Helensburgh Hill there, and then across Loch Lomond. So, and I'm on the Port Glasgow Greenock border, only 100 or so yards from the Clyde side there as well. So, about 200 yards from the Ferguson's shipyard. You've probably seen on the news on Monday or Tuesday, where the ferry got launched from on. So that's, I can see that from my sort of top floor sort of window there. South to me, I'm right at the back of a hill here, so right at the back of my house for about 700 feet, right up to the top of the back of Greenock, and it carries on right down to Ayrshire. It is a big hill from me, so sort of north, east and west, pretty good for me here. If I turn the beam round, it's going straight into rock, so southwise. But that certainly sounds a good height you've got there with that. If you can see that from your mast, then it's some takeoff you've got there at the QTH at the home. Superb. The more you talk, the more that I'm certainly convinced that we did speak last, sort of back end of last summer. And I just had a halo then as well, so I've sort of take that. Well, I've not actually took it up the hill yet. That's for when I go up on top of that hill that I'm speaking about, and I'm going to put the halo up and use some 2 metres up there. Pretty quiet 2 metre sideband at this location. Don't know where it is, how it is sort of around Edinburgh way. Very quiet. Since I put my beam up there a month or so ago, I think you're the only third station, sort of barring friends, sort of local friends, I think you're the only third station that I've heard. So it's pretty quiet 2 metre sideband here, but the main target is chasing sotas with it during the summer when there's stations on the hills. That's the plan. Station here's a Yaesu 991 Alpha, and I'm running 9 watts, but I'm using one of the old microwave module small 100 watt linears, and it's outputting 50 watts there. So if I talk louder and whistle, it pushes about 80, 90, but so checking the meter now, it's about 50 watts peak it's doing there, so it should just be running it sort of nice there, Brian. Yep, I've not been in the whole weekend. I've been working 12-hour shifts the whole weekend there, Brian, so I've just put the radio on in the last hour there and just sat it on 300. I was speaking to a friend on C4 FM, and I thought I'll just park on 300 for a bit before I go to my bed, and there we go. So I'll put it back to you for the final there, Brian. Maybe let you get some more call outs, because I am going to my bed. I've been on 12-hour shifts all weekend. I was actually sitting on my chair here with 80 metres on, 40 metres on, sitting wigging, and I was dozing in the chair. So I'm going to call it quits and go to my bed there. So thanks for the quick chat, Brian. I'll put it back to you, and hopefully you can go back to 300 and sort of throw that spinner out there and catch some more fish. GM8BJF, Mr. Brian. This is 2M0ROT. Stu, back to you.
Yes, GM8BJF, GM8BJF. Yeah, I think we probably did work a wee while ago. I'm not very good at remembering these things these days. But basically, your signal's coming through very consistently, no problems at all. And you must have got a reasonable, a good takeoff. Yeah, I know more or less where you are, 'cause when I was working, they used to do some work with a couple of companies over in that area. I used to drive through around what it really, like the government, around in Shannon area. But they didn't last terribly long. They were electronics companies there. So they were quite not far from the airport. So that's I know most of that area. There's a big passing familiarity around Paisley Way as well. The other companies we worked with were based in Paisley for a while, right in the middle of the town. So that was so nice to work here, and where you're located, and we'll hope to catch you again soon. I'll go and see if there's anything else. I'll probably just turn in, but I've retired. I've not I'll be working today. I'm sure I'll work. It's decent quiet. So I'll say something to say. Nice to speak to you again, and thanks for the contact. 2M0ROT. GM8BJF is signing with the very final comments. Cheers, Stuart.
No bother, Brian. Thanks very much anyway. Good to hear you again. Certainly hope to make the contact again very soon. Just a final comment before I do hang the microphone up. A couple of weeks ago there was real good Aurora opening. I don't know if you managed to catch any of that. I was sitting in the shack again doing my usual half snoozing on the chair after a 12-hour shift, and I heard the kind of Aurora warbling, and I finally made out the call sign. It was a G8 station. He was beaming north, looking to get Scandinavia or whatever, and he could hear me. We never made the contact, but when I looked up his QRZ page, he was in Wolverhampton, so that's a phenomenal. That would have been a phenomenal contact on 2 metre sideband if that would have. So there you go. You never know. So I generally sit on 300 anyway, Brian. But thanks anyway for the chat, and we'll do it again soon in 73, and have a great week. GM8BJF. This is 2M0ROT signing clear, and catch you later, Brian. Bye bye.
Yeah, cheers, Stuart. Yeah, so that's a good moving contact. But yeah, when you get Aurora, you can get all sorts of. It opens up a whole new field of possibilities with meters. It's always quite interesting. I noticed that there'd been quite a big. I saw in the news there was some pictures of visual auroras. I just didn't happen to be on at that time. So I must mix it. Because in Edinburgh I'm quite well located for the northwest as well, so I can do quite well in Aurora. There is so. So I'll say something to say. Nice to speak to you, and all the best. Have a good week. 2M0 ROT. GM8BJF signing just with that frequency and going back to the top channel. Cheers, Stuart.
Cheers, Brian. Good night. 2M0ROT. Off and clear.